With that being said, man, let's waste no time. Let's jump into it. And I'm just going to put this the link to this article up on the screen. You guys make sure you go give it a check, and obviously make sure you're following Wendell Ferreira as well. One of the better follows on Twitter here in terms of Packers content, and make sure you check out all of his pieces here moving forward. But I'm just going to kind of read it to you guys here off to the side and give you an idea of what we got going on with Jordan Love and the update here. Okay, so you guys know Jordan Love sustained the concussion. It was also, I think, mentioned yesterday on the official injury report that Jordan Love had a shoulder injury as well. So not only was it a concussion, but it was also the left shoulder. If you guys remember when the defender kind of put all his weight down on him, as he took him to the ground, which that's supposed to be a penalty as well. I don't know really what's happened with that penalty. I never really liked that penalty, to be honest with you. But if it's a penalty and it's in the rule book, call the damn thing, right? That's the part that frustrates me, is like, if you're not going to call holding, then tweak the rules to where we know, okay, they're not going to call holding as much as we have in the past. Same thing with landing on a quarterback, things like that. But nonetheless, here is what the article says from Wendell Ferreira. As we write this article, it's Wednesday. So obviously this was yesterday, right? Or actually this morning, right? What is today? Yeah, today. Okay, cool. It's Wednesday. The Green Bay Packers played the Baltimore Ravens on Saturday. So the first practice of the week happened on Tuesday, and the injury report had both Jordan Love with a concussion and Malik Willis with the shoulder limited at practice. But a subtle and important detail is a clear indication that the Packers are confident in the health of their quarterbacks, with an S, right? It's great news. No quarterback workouts, all right? So the Packers have only 3 quarterbacks, the main 2 on the active roster, and Clayton Tune on the practice squad. If there are any real concern about the availability of both for Saturday's game, the team would likely brought in options to a workout to potentially add to the practice squad. Okay, so the fact that they didn't have any quarterbacks in working out for the Green Bay Packers is a pretty good sign that they feel confident both of these guys, or at least one, I would imagine, will be good to go, right? Here at A to Z Sports, he writes, so Wendell Ferreira writes, we discussed some options earlier this week, and that included quarterbacks that have already played under Matt LaFleur and know the system, like Tim Boyle, Taylor Elgersma. They would just have to be emergency options. If the Packers were not confident in their numbers at the position for this week, the faster they moved, the more a new quarterback would have time to go back to the playbook and learn the specific game plan for the Ravens game. All right. So again, if there was any concern there, they probably would have went outside of the room, went outside of the building, and tried to bring in someone who's familiar with the system and get them up to snuff, if you will, on the game plan for the Baltimore Ravens. Right. In terms of injury updates, Wendell goes on and says Jordan Love was able to practice at a limited capacity on Tuesday, which doesn't guarantee anything, but it's a great indication about the process. Usually players who miss games with concussions aren't able to practice throughout the week. The fact that Love could be on the field at some capacity 4 days before the game is a positive sign. We've kind of talked about this a lot, right? Like, if you've got a guy that's in concussion protocol, you're looking for them to be limited as soon as possible so they can potentially clear concussion protocol. We've seen in the past that if a player gets hurt, let's say he gets hurt on a Monday night game, right? And then you come out in the first or second practice, let's say the first practice report on Wednesday says he did not participate. You're really keyed in on Thursday to see, okay, is he limited Thursday? Nope, he did not participate. Oh, crap, right? And then maybe Friday, he's limited. Now it's kind of up in the air. Is he truly going to clear concussion protocol? But when the player gets back on the field and they practice at least in a limited fashion by the first day of practice, it's usually a good indicator they're going to clear concussion protocol, but not guaranteed, as Wendell Ferreira said, right? Meanwhile, backup quarterback Malik Willis was also limited due to a right shoulder injury he suffered on the final play of regulation against the Chicago Bears. Matt LaFleur said the backup isn't cleared yet, but Willis said in the locker room after practice that he would probably be able to play through the injury if Love can't go. So again, Matt LaFleur probably trying to throw a little bit of a smoke screen out there to the rest of the league, to the Baltimore Ravens, right? Like, yeah, we don't know if our backup's going to be ready. And then, of course, Malik goes in the locker room and says, yeah, I can probably play through this if Love ain't ready to go. So I think it's going to be one of those situations where he'll probably be active. Now, is there a chance that Clayton Tune could be active too? Yeah, I think that'd be a smart move this week, right? In case the shoulder does act up on Willis, God forbid, Jordan can't go, right? Then you obviously activate Clayton Tune. So, when you look at this, really what it comes down to is they feel good about both players, right? Jordan will probably clear concussion protocol, but if he doesn't, Malik Willis can play even though the shoulder's a little banged up. regardless, Clayton Tune will probably be active, right? So again, if they had went and brung someone into the building, they would have been like, oh crap, we're going to have to go ahead and accelerate Clayton Tune to the starting quarterback, and this backup quarterback that hopefully would have had experience in Matt LaFleur's offense. We can kind of get him acclimated to the scheme, to the game plan specifically for the Baltimore Ravens on Saturday night. And now you've got your two quarterbacks, plus your emergency quarterbacks, which we learned were, if I remember correctly, it was Josh Jacobs and Jaden Reed, right? So, again, I think both quarterbacks, there's a good chance they'll be ready to go. And hopefully that's the case. Now, there's also a chance that maybe Jordan's ready to go, and then by the time the game gets here, they rule Malik Willis out because the shoulder flared up on him or something, right? In limited snaps at practice. If that's the case, Clayton Tune will be activated, and that'll be your true backup throughout the game. So, yeah. So he goes on to say, if at least one of them is able to play on Saturday, Clayton Tune would be the third option on the team. It's possible that Tune gets the first elevation for game day to at least serve as the emergency quarterback, kind of like what we were just saying, right? He initially gets on the inactive list, but can play if the first two quarterbacks are ruled out during the game with injuries. For now, the Packers feel comfortable with what they have. So again, I think this is great news for the Green Bay Packers. The fact that it sounds like both quarterbacks are trending in the right direction, right? So I think we'll have Jordan out there. I think that Malik will probably be in the fold there as well. And then also you'll have Clayton Tune just lying in the wait in case, like I said, God forbid something goes terribly wrong, right? Like if Jordan's left shoulder, if he gets hit and the left shoulder is bothering him, all right, cool, you pull him out. Malik Willis plays a drive or two. Dang it, he's not quite 100% there. All right, throw Clayton Tune out there. And now you got Malik Willis as your emergency backup that could potentially run that read option, that zone read defense, that RPR look, right? So that's probably the way that they will take this thing. Let's go to the chat, see what everybody's saying here. Jen Wright said Lamar versus Willis would be fun. Boy, it would. You talk about two dynamic quarterbacks, right? Kind of cut from the same cloth in terms of their speed. Lamar's one of the fastest quarterbacks in the league. People don't know this, but Malik Willis has been clocked over 20 mile an hour several times. So that's a dude that's got blazing speed as well. I think that would be a fun little matchup, although I think we would all agree, and you yourself included, I'm sure, Jen, want to see Jordan out there, right? Want to see him out there and healthy. Let's see. Your Sixer says, I think I heard Nick Wright and Chris Bassard say Love will be out the next two games, but I think that was before yesterday when Love practiced. Isn't it funny? Isn't it funny how Nick Wright always sticks his foot in his mouth? I've never seen anyone in sports media. And listen, this also includes Skip Bayless. This includes, in my opinion, Stephen A. Smith don't stick his foot in his mouth much. He's just very boisterous, right? And you can tell he'll create opinions just to get clicks. But I've never seen anything that Nick Wright said that I'm like, man, this guy's really knowledgeable about the game of football. It just always comes off like somebody put a piece of paper in front of him and said, hey, try to convince the crowd that you believe this, right? So the fact that Nick said that makes me think Jordan Love is fully healthy, to be honest with you, if I'm being real here, right? Yeah, Sixers goes on to say, I was like, what the hell? What are they thinking? They're not thinking. I'll tell you what they're thinking. They're thinking, let's say something to get those Packer fans talking, and here we are, right? That's the way that works. So we got Darren in the chat. Good morning, good news. Yeah, absolutely, man. I think it is good news. And again, there's no guarantee that both of these guys will be ready, but it's looking like they're both will be ready. That's the direction we're trending in. So if you guys are watching this video back later, let us know in the comments, how do you feel about Jordan Love and Malik Willis, their injuries, and whether they'll be available for the Baltimore Ravens. Which direction would you take? Is there a chance that if Love isn't 100% with that left shoulder, would you sit him, play Malik, and then try to get Jordan completely healthy for Week 18 there against the Minnesota Vikings? As we all know, the Lions game we're all going to be watching tomorrow. I think it's tomorrow is when that game's played. If the Lions lose, the Packers are in regardless, right? But we want to go on this little run here and try to win the North if the Bears were to crap the bed the last two games, right? How awesome would that be? First of all, there's a really good chance, like a 94% chance last I checked, that the Packers make the playoffs, which is great news. But how cool would it be if the Bears had an epic collapse and the Packers won the last two, the Bears lost the last two, we win the North, we host a playoff game, the Bears get beat out in the first round of the playoffs, and all is right in the world? Would that not be awesome? If we just snuck right up and took the North from them, that would just, it'd be great. So anyway, let us know in the comments what you think about Jordan Love's injury. Make sure you hit like, subscribe, click the bell icon so you're notified anytime we go live here in the future. Appreciate y'all tuning in with us here on Christmas Eve.